Now, if by any chance you are a sucker for rom-com and wholesome animes, then pack your bags and move to a different country because this video definitely isn't for you. But if you are not a rom-com sucker, then fasten your seatbelts, buddy, because today we are going to dive into the top 10 most disgusting anime to ever exist. Yep, these are quite vile and disgusting, to say the least, but it's not a bad thing, not a bad thing at all, because these anime take that stuff to a whole nother level, where you would actually enjoy it, surprisingly. So without further delay, let's begin. To start off the list, we've got the Island of Giant Insects. Yep, this one definitely deserves to be on the list. Sometimes people just don't know when an animated movie such as this would be good, cause who can blame them when those kinds of people only have ecchi, isekai, and harem in the core of their heads. But as much as I praise this show, it does have some problems. Okay, it has a lot of problems, but let's start from the beginning. This anime takes horror to an unsettling extreme, thrusting its characters into a hellscape of oversized bugs and relentless terror. What begins as a survival thriller quickly escalates into a gruesome battle against nature's most horrifying creations. When a group of students become stranded on a deserted island, they soon find themselves prey to giant insects that defy all logic and reason. Imagine a twisted version of Attack on Titan where instead of titans you have man-eating insects. The horror unfolds as each character faces not only the threat of death, but the psychological trauma of witnessing their friends meet horrific fates. The art style successfully captures the raw grotesqueness of these creatures, amplifying the sense of dread. The gore in the show is quite intense, and limbs are severed, bodies are consumed, and the visceral portrayal of each death leaves a lasting impression. It's a dissection of fear itself, where survival instincts become a gruesome game of wits against monstrous foes. But let's be honest here, this show ain't that scary. I mean, come on, we've all seen Berserk 26. Let's not go there. Anyway, if you like brutal crap like this is your weekly bowl of ramen. So eat up. Then at number 9, we have Corpse Party Tortured Souls. If nightmares had a face, this would be it. A blood-drenched tale of gruesome deaths, curses, and tormented spirits trapped in an abandoned school. What started off as a group of friends performing a seemingly innocent charm ritual quickly devolves into a twisted massacre, with bodies cooked beyond recognition and flesh ripped apart. This anime tests your limits for gore. And the horror here isn't just the gruesome visuals, but the overwhelming sense of dread as hope fades. Corpse Party doesn't hold back. The pain is both physical and emotional, leaving you scarred just like its unfortunate cast. It's the kind of story where surviving might be worse than dying. This is one of those series that makes you cringe, but you still love it because it takes you on a well-written story. Whereas this is still not my favorite horror anime, I still think that it did an amazing job with what little time and what couple episodes it had. And to be honest, this was one of the most disturbing things I have ever seen in my life. And although I would hold the anime Another quite higher than this as an overall better show, this anime definitely nails down on Another's brittleness by triple or even quadruple the folds. So if you are tired of censored anime and want to scar yourself for life, go ahead and watch this one. I know it scarred me. Next at number 8, we have Ibara no Ao, King of Thorn. A dystopian nightmare where humanity grapples with a terrifying plague that transforms victims into grotesque stone sculptures. The story follows a group of individuals who awaken in a facility after being put into suspended animation, only to find the world outside infested with monstrous thorns and deadly creatures. The film intricately blends psychological horror with elements of survival, revealing that the true monsters may not be the ones lurking outside, but the darkness within humanity itself. The animation vividly illustrates the surreal landscapes and the grotesque transformation of the characters, with each thorny encounter escalating the tension. As they navigate this nightmarish reality, the characters are faced with choices that test their morality and resolve. But what makes this crap particularly haunting is its exploration of themes like sacrifice and redemption. The twisted narrative unfolds like a psychological labyrinth, pushing the characters to the brink of despair. The film doesn't shy away from depicting the brutal consequences of their choices, leading to a climax that is as heart-wrenching as it is shocking. But this for sure isn't the best depiction of psychological horror in the anime world. It had the potential to be great. However, this is one of those films that have a good idea, but the way it is executed leaves a lot to be desired. Still a great show though, so if you want to watch this show, go ahead and give this one a try. It might just be the thing you're hungry for. Next at number 7, we have Yami Shibai. Ghost stories have been told for generations, since the dawn of man. It's one of the earliest forms of entertainment humankind engulfed themselves with. And this has to be the peak of this type of storytelling. This might look unassuming with its minimalistic art style and short 4-minute episodes, but each story is like a bite-sized piece of nightmare fuel. It takes the essence of Japanese folklore and twists it into something you'd rather not remember at night. The shadows move unnervingly, and every creak in the animation feels like a forewarning of something much worse. Watching Yamishibai is like listening to a ghost story whispered directly into your ear. Except the storyteller won't let you sleep afterwards. This anime wholly commits to creating a creepy atmosphere from beginning to end. And the short opening for every episode has a man in a creepy mask telling a bunch of pale, lifeless-looking kids with bloodshot eyes at a playground to gather around and listen to his story. The color palette is all grimy, dark, and subdued. You could probably have a 2-hour seminar on how to properly do a jump scare using this show, so do me a favor, give this one a try. And after that, at number 6, we have Bokura no, a tale that intertwines hope and despair into a world where humanity's existence hangs by a thread. It's a psychological horror that pushes the boundaries of trust, morality, and sacrifice among a group of children. Faced with the horrific scenario of life and death, the cast must navigate a world where their decisions lead to brutal consequences. The sheer weight of their choices become a character itself, haunting them as they grapple with the concept of survival. The premise centers itself in a game around children in a summer camp who are forced to fight for the planet itself, resulting in devastating and often gruesome outcomes. Sounds crazy? Well, that's because it is. The animation captures the chaos and despair with vivid depictions of desperation that will leave viewers both captivated and horrified. It's a deeply unsettling exploration of the human psyche, showcasing that sometimes the most horrific monsters are the ones within. The story is divided between different arcs of different characters, and each story arc deals with the next pilot set to fight on Earth's behalf. Each child has a story to tell, a conflict of some sort to work out before they fight, and one wants to prove himself to his workaholic father. Another deals with bullying because of her mother's reputation, and the other one's dad went to go get some milk. So we all know how that one went. So each story keeps you hooked in its own way, and this anime is quite the underdog in this list, so give this one a try. Then at number 5, we've got Memories, Magnetic Rose. This one serves as a haunting exploration of loss, regret, and the fragility of human memory. This anime is divided into 3 short films, with Magnetic Rose being the first and best one there. This short film transports you to a derelict space station where a group of salvagers discovers a digital ghost. The animation done by Madhouse, the goat, captivates with its striking visuals and unsettling atmosphere, immersing you in a world where the boundaries of reality blur. As the characters navigate through the remnants of a once thriving civilization, the memories they uncover are more than mere reflections. They're gruesome reminders of what was lost. The protagonist seeking answers finds themselves enveloped in a tale of love and tragedy that pushes them to confront their own past. The horror lies not in jump scares, but in the slow unraveling of a beautifully tragic story, evoking a sense of depression that lingers long after the credits roll. This is the only short of the 3 that deserves to be called Memories. The atmosphere is done in an incredible way that always leaves the viewer on the edge of this seat, expecting something to happen and creating even more tension in the process because it's a disturbing reminder that memories, while precious, can also be a source of profound pain. Now, Magnetic Rose as a whole is incredible, but I think that it would have been better as a sole and full-length movie, as that way we could have been able to explore this wonderfully tragic story with more time and it wouldn't have been paired with the other movies, but still a wonderful anime. Don't sleep on this one. Next up at number 4, we have Devilman Crybaby. If there ever had been an anime that was made in hell, it would be Devilman Crybaby. This Netflix reboot is a fever dream of madness, grotesque transformations, and unrelenting chaos. The show descends into a pit of despair where demons are the least of humanity's problems. Beneath the hyper-stylized animation lies a tale of betrayal, love, and the darker sides of human nature. The brutality is relentless, with limbs flying, bodies being distorted, and blood floods the screen like water from a broken dam. But it's not the violence that's disturbing, it's how easy it becomes to accept it. With each episode, Devilman dismantles your sense of morality, making you question who the real monsters are. Imagine Parasitian on steroids, only with the less hope and more doom. By the end, the world has gone to hell and you're left clutching at sanity like Akira, wondering if any of it ever made sense in the first place. The biggest positive about this adaptation is the added depth to its characters. The manga's characters were shallow, but here it's a completely different story. The biggest negative is sadly the pacing. The manga was already fast-paced and the anime just made it faster. It works for the first few episodes, but towards the end it just becomes way too fast and complicated to feel anything. especially the last 10 to 15 minutes of the show. But still, watch this one if you haven't. It is very good. Then at the third spot, we have Higurashi When They Cry, a masterclass in psychological horror that leaves you reeling from its sheer brutality and unsettling atmospheres. Set in a rural village, the anime slowly unravels the dark secrets behind its cheerful facade. Each arc presents a different version of events, showcasing the character's descent into madness, paranoia, and despair. The unsettling juxtaposition of cuteness and horrific violence creates a unique tension. Laughter quickly turns to screams as friendships unravel into gruesome betrayals. But the true horror lies in the cyclical nature of the story. Just when you think you grasp the plot, the layers start to peel back, revealing even darker truths. The infamous Watanagashi Festival becomes a grim backdrop for the character's ultimate demise and fates, where the line between reality and illusion blurs. The visual brutality is matched only by the psychological torment inflicted upon the cast, with moments of betrayal that hit harder than any physical blow. It's horrific, it's shocking, and yet a part of you cannot help but wonder, how did it happen? Each arc here is an experiment to see how much you can, as a viewer, endure. The first one breaks you, but curiosity takes over, and so you repeat the experiment, knowing full well that those cute-looking teenagers you just saw are going to end up as bloody pulps. But hey, at least every time they meet their untimely demise in the most horrific, terrifying, gruesome ways, you at least get a step closer to figuring out why they died. And that's great, right? Then at the runners-up of today's list, we have Serial Experiments Lain. This anime is a literal mind-bender that blurs the lines between reality, consciousness, and the digital realm. As a quiet and introverted teenager dives deeper into this enigmatic world, she encounters a chilling web of conspiracy, existential dread, and the grotesque nature of human connection. The series invites viewers to question the very fabric of reality as Lain's journey becomes increasingly surreal and psychologically unsettling. The animation is both haunting and beautiful, with a distinctive visual style that enhances the dreamlike quality of Lain's experiences. The narrative unfolds with a slow, deliberate pace, echoing the meticulous way information spreads in the digital age. As the main character's reality fractures, you are left grappling with her transformation from an ordinary girl to an omnipotent entity within the world. The series confronts us with the unsettling notion that in our increasingly connected world, genuine human connection is becoming increasingly rare, leaving a trail of emotional desolation in its wake. And by the end, you're left questioning not only the main character's reality, but your own existence as well. So there are anime that simply entertain for the sake of enjoyment, and then there are anime that stretch the boundary of human imagination. Serial Experiments Lain falls into the latter category, and for this reason, Serial Experiments Lain stands out as a true classic. But at the top spot, we have Summertime Rendering. An anime brilliantly weaves a tale of time loops, death, and dark secrets, set against the backdrop of an island filled with the paranormal. When our main character returns to his home for a funeral, he quickly discovers that the island is shrouded in supernatural events that turns his summer vacation into a twisted horror show. And each time he dies, he awakens to relive the day, and each iteration reveals more gruesome details about the island's inhabitants and their horrifying secrets. The animation in the show is quite literally jaw-dropping. It captures the eerie atmosphere perfectly, transforming the idyllic scenery into a nightmarish landscape. And talking about nightmares, the show is brutal as hell. You're gonna see the characters you like killed mercilessly in front of you. And it's not just once, but it's to the extent where you'll forget how many times they killed the same character. The unique blend of supernatural elements and thriller aspects leaves viewers both entertained and on the edge, wondering how deep the conspiracy truly runs. And we can't forget Ms. G Cup now, can we? Now I don't ask too much from you, God, but just this once. Can you just put a chick like that in my life? Anyway, if you still haven't watched this show, go and watch it, or you'll never get those G-Cups. Remember it. Well, that's the list for today, guys. If you were able to make it this far, please be sure to comment down below which anime you think should have been on this list, and also pressing that bell icon and set us all to be notified about all our latest new videos, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And anyways, thanks for watching, and as for now, I'll catch you later. See you in the next one.